Good evening, y'all. How is everyone doing?
Doing
It
pretty
is
good.
apparently a quiet
Hooray.
night out there tonight. Yeah, so I always the show will start soon thing. I wait for EV Mux to sync up to YouTube, and it took me quite a while to realize that for whatever reason I had to actually reboot YouTube in order to get it to register. So
Hmm.
that's why that was so long. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, it just didn't start. Very strange. But I mean, let's be honest, if that is the worst that anything goes tonight.
Yes.
Just want to say quickly that Dutch is not with us tonight. He's having some medical stuff, so everybody thoughts out to him. Um, and hopefully he will be back next week. Did everybody get the episodes watched?
Yep.
Yep.
So
They
going
were.
back. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that going back over these, I think the third one is actually my favorite. The fourth one is interesting, but not.
Filler
This is
episode, fourth one. The third one has like my favorite scene so far with the what are they called? The what do they call these little chicken fighters? The zip files.
This
The
is-
zip
Oh,
files.
the zip
yeah.
files. Yeah, I was like, what? What are you
What
talking
is
about?
that?
the fourth
Oh.
episode was a side quest.
I mean, honestly, so it gets confusing. They got canceled after 3, and then they got picked up but on a lower budget, and so they're like scrambling. And so there are a couple of episodes that are just like nothing but filler while they tried to get everything working.
Did
Yeah.
anyone notice that this episode looked airbrushed?
3
4.
or 4. Yeah, so I liked how 4. I was like, did Saving Private Ryan rip off this look? Like, because like this, it goes into like sepia tone the second they
Yeah.
go into World War II. It's not sepia, but it's like the muted colors. It's like a filter going on.
Yeah.
I thought that was a neat touch. But I thought they would do that so that way when we cut to other stuff in the real world in Santiago City, it would be more obvious. But they barely did that. I don't think they did it at all, did they?
Well, I have a theory about that.
I don't
but
think so.
I wanna
Yeah.
wait until we get that far. So
Yeah.
I want to say a quick hello to the chat. The goddess, welcome. Thank you, Eraser, for dropping the Kofi in. Hanayama-san is here. Someday he's gonna say something else entirely different as his like entry, and my brain is just gonna skip a beat entirely. As your GM is here. And Abomination AJ. Welcome. I haven't seen you here in ages. It's so good to see you back. Welcome.
Wow.
Yeah, this you're here just in time for the weird shows. All right, I need to let's see. Share screen, window, harsh realm. Head to scene. Bump everybody around so that everything's in the right place.
There we go.
All right. Ta-da. Don't give me ideas. If I didn't give you ideas, you would have come up with them eventually on your own, Hanasama-yan. God, I can't even talk today. Hanayama-san.
Samayam.
It's been forever since I said his name wrong.
Fair enough.
It took me so long to get to the point where I could pronounce that. But yeah, there's my lesson for the day. Do not attempt to swallow seltzer water while saying his name. The bubbles get in the way. Yeah, I know, exactly, right? Yep, totally. All right, so we start out looking through a grated wall at a military gathering. And I have to remember how this thing works again. There we go. Just didn't want to work until I clicked
Secret bunkers. Oh, and this guy playing the general, he's always in like he's in all these Michael Bay movies and such, playing random, dudes at dudes at desks and dudes in control rooms.
I really wish that I could blame that on drinking, but the only thing I was drinking was seltzer water, and I literally did. I had this moment where I was like, if I finish this word accurately, I am going to choke to death on the bubbles. But
Carbonation, it's bad.
So here we meet Inga Fossa. And I'm trying to remember, her name actually means something.
I figured. Say they with the next episode title.
But it was going to be like my interesting fact, and then I've immediately forgotten what it means.
Let's see. How do you spell it? Fossa. What does that mean?
It's right in the Wikipedia.
Fictional character.
It's like in the trench or something.
Oh,
it's
trench. Yeah. Fossa means trench or ditch. And that's all I'm getting. That's an unfortunate female's name.
You're in the ditch.
Let's see. Cast.
Oh, what was the band name we came up with? Drenched Rat. Drenched Rat. I was like, dude, that's a sick band name.
Oh, and anyway. That's actually Inga Fossa translates into in the trench in Latin. I did remember that.
In
correctly.
the trench. Okay, cool.
She also appears. The same actress appears in the 2008 film X-Files: I Want to Believe.
Never saw
it. As a character referred to on screen as Agent Fossa.
Oh, okay.
So another of Chris Carter's
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs, yep. So.
Well, not to get ahead of ourselves, but Waters over here is going to be in the trenches quite soon.
Anyway, she is.
I thought it was funny, Razor.
I tried.
She is. I don't know. Part of me says she's my favorite character because she's just interesting.
She's the best looking so far.
But she's also.
Samantha Mathis is lovely. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, tall. Was it dark and mysterious? She's got this like Trinity kind of Carrie Ann Moss kind of vibe. She wears all black. She's got black hair and dark eyes.
And you have absolutely no idea what she's doing at any given time.
Yeah, and she seems to be playing the fact that she can come in and out. She's playing both sides. It's like, what? This is the first time we're seeing someone being able to freely move inside and out of the harsh realm.
Yeah, well, she also seems to be able to move in and out of all of these meetings.
Yeah, she's obviously connected because she's the one telling Samantha Mathis, they're lying about your husband. But, she has on good authority.
Yeah, that guy, I think he died 2 or 3 times in the Michael Bay Transformers series.
Oh, right. Yeah, is he in an all movie? I remember he's in The Island. He's the guy with the organs, and he's arguing with the sassy black lady. He's always playing those types, those types of dudes. He's a great character actor. God bless him. We don't know your name. We know your face, though.
So, as cheesy as I think these openings are with the really bad, romance letters back and forth, I feel like this one is a bit better. And I honestly think it just comes down to the fact that it's not Hobbs, giving the lines. That dude really can act. These 2 episodes just reinforced it for me. He's like wet cardboard. He's just bleh. I'm sorry, but he's the weakest part of the show, and I just feel like this would have been so much better if they had cast anyone else.
He's also not even that particularly is he that particularly good looking? I could understand if he was a jacked, hunk and chicks loved him. Is he good looking? He's
no.
He's
not.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
not really. No.
I mean, I can understand. This woman, she's beautiful. DB Sweeney is not an attractive man, but he's got presence. Samantha Mathis, she has presence, and she's attractive. This guy is just, he is a little.
I would
He's
take.
the
He's like
I would,
sidekick
lukewarm
that never
butter.
gets a girl.
I would take
Yeah.
Pinocchio over him any day.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't even come down to just looking good, though, because, like, this is a couple years
No.
before Carnival, and I think
Right.
the guy in Carnival could have easily played this lead and done
what
it
I'm
10
saying
times
is,
better.
like,
And he's
if
kind
he's
of
not-
weird looking himself.
Well, I'm just saying if he's not charismatic, like, at least he should be, like, super hunky dude, the abs and everything and muscles. Like, he doesn't even have that going. So, like, he's not even a hunk of wood. It's like you said, he's a hunk of, wet cardboard.
Yeah, I would love to know why he was picked. Like, was there no one else?
Did him
I'm
and
sure
the
it's
casting director share the same last
Yeah.
name by any chance?
It's always a who you know type thing. Either it's nepotism, family wise, or it's just you're friends with somebody and they told you they'd get you a gig, and it's usually 9 times out of 10. Why does Pedro Pascal get all these roles? Because people like working with him. It's pretty much that simple. The casting directors and the filmmakers, they all like him. I mean, that's it. Zendaya, same shit. They all want to work with her.
Yeah, but-
they all want to work with. Somebody wanted to work with this guy for some reason.
Well, I was gonna say, like, Zendaya, I think it's like restaurants, You see a line at a restaurant, you assume the restaurant must be great. But then,
Yeah.
then when you join the line, you're just adding to the impression that that restaurant must be great. I
Yeah.
think there are some actors out there that they're the line, like they've done a bunch of movies. So people assume they must be good, so they cast them. Which
Yeah.
then leads
I
to
mean-
the impression that they must be good.
Yeah, Chris Nolan, everyone's upset about Helena Troy, Lupita Nyong'o, but Chris Nolan just wants to work with her. Put her in something. It's just that simple usually. It's annoying. And it sucks if you're like, an actor or trying to break out in this business and you're getting turned down and you find out the people getting accepted, they're always like someone's cousin or nephew or friend, or, they had sex with somebody. I would have to resort to the latter.
But I'm trying to figure out why anyone would want to work with him. He had no line. Like, he hadn't done other stuff before.
It's probably something more personal, like I said earlier, like, oh yeah, you're friends or family with somebody, and it's like, yeah, we'll get you a gig. It's like Adam Sandler does with all his friends. I need some money, man. Yeah, no problem, David Spade. I'll put you in this movie for 10 seconds and get you a fat paycheck, and we'll go film it on a tropical island, and the movie will suck, but it'll make a bunch of money on Netflix.
Yeah. Hello, Ms. Sparkles. I also want to address briefly, I think we mentioned last time that there was a lawsuit over this show.
Right. The comic book.
The comic book. So I found the comic book online and I read the first, I don't know. I think eventually it was turned into a graphic novel, which is usually my preferred reading type, but I read the first several pages anyway. I have no idea how there was even vaguely a lawsuit over this. Because the comic book and this have a title in common, and that is all.
Yeah.
That's weird.
The comic book
Yeah, I mean-
takes place in a futuristic society where machines build actual realities, not virtual ones. And people basically go into them on vacation. And a kid goes into one on vacation and doesn't come back, and a private detective goes in after him to try and find him.
My guess is because, it's not like James Cameron with Terminator, where these guys probably had two similar ideas, and James Cameron did kind of admit that he's seen these what was it, Outer Limits or Twilight Zone episodes or whatever, and there's some overlap, and he might have been subconsciously influenced, and they kind of came up with similar ideas, but it's different. But the problem is you admit, that you were influenced by it. Like if these guys wrote this show that's nothing like Harsh Realm, but they said, oh, it's kind of based on this comic book with the same name, but we changed a bunch, but then you don't credit them, like they can come in and be like, yo, like, give us some. They basically just want to see their name on the title cards of these episodes on Fox. I mean, and it's
I
one of those
guess, but
things.
I don't know that
I
he ever
assume.
admitted he was influenced. It just happens to have the same name.
Well, I assume. I mean, I don't know what happened, but I assume he admitted, or was upfront that yes, I did take influence from this show, and it is based on this. I mean, that could be enough. It could have been mutual. Like, yeah, my bad. Let's beg for forgiveness instead of ask for permission, kind of thing.
I don't know. I basically was like, so what was he influenced by? Let's have a computer that makes worlds? Except
No.
let's change the entire way that those worlds function?
I mean, I guess there was enough there for them to make an argument. You have the same name. I think last week Dutch said that the name of the lead in the comic or
right.
graphic novel is the name of the dog in the show. So, like,
Yeah.
I guess they could have latched onto that too and been like, clearly you have a familiarity with our work. You named the dog after our lead character. Like, there was
What's the dog's
probably
name again?
just
Dexter?
enough that Dexter, yeah.
Yeah.
Call it a tribute, and you're all set.
What
But
movies
yeah, I
or
was
shows
totally blown away.
have come out that are set in like the computer realm? Tron, that's the big one. I don't know
Right.
if there's any others.
Yeah, like, I mean, especially before here, like, because the Matrix and 13th Floor and those things are kind of just basically started. Brain Scan is fun, but that's not computer world. That's like hypnotism. You think you're playing a game, but you're actually running around in the real world. But as far as virtual worlds, Ghost in the Shell, that stupid horror movie, kind of touched on that. All the appliances are haunted. It's so stupid.
Did you say the Matrix?
Yeah, but this came out before the Matrix,
this came
right?
out
Or around the
before,
same
yeah.
time, like a few months before or after. Like we
Yeah,
determined,
before.
they were kind of coming up with the same themes, like at the same time. Same thing with like Office Space and Fight Club. Like those movies were coming out independently of each other, but yet they both touch on the same like anti-establishment, anti-working corporate grind, themes. It was the end of it was the end of history, where between the Berlin Wall falling and before 9/11, there was this time where like peak cynicism and the people were just kind of waking up naturally.
Yeah.
And then 9/11 happened and set us all back another 30 years, 20 years.
I have to say that this shot especially, all I could think of was this is what Wednesday Addams looks like when she grows up.
Yeah, live action Daria vibes.
Oh, I totally forgot about Daria.
You seem like a Daria fan.
I
Were
liked
you?
it better than Beavis and Butthead.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think most
don't know
girls
that
did.
I don't know that I would have called myself a fan. I was an Eon Flux fan, if you want to talk about, MTV.
Oh, liquid television. I need to watch
So-
the live action Eon Flux movie and the live action Ghost of the Shell movie. I've never seen them. They look horrible.
Yeah, I didn't really want my
No.
memories of Eon Flux.
Ghost in the Shell is like 4 movies crammed into one.
Also, Scarlett Johansson gets naked, but she's wearing like this skin tight, like flesh tone clothing suit. Come on.
Yep.
So we are following Inga from her meeting into this compound.
What a fun first name to say. Inga. Imagine if you were married to a woman named Inga. Inga, dear, can you grab me a beer, honey? Inga. My dearest Inga, How I love you so.
Um, sorry, I had a coughing fit there. I don't know how she manages to follow him in a follow Inga in
Yeah,
a giant red
that big
pickup
red truck, yeah. And park right behind her.
Yeah, she does a terrible job at tailing her. It's horrible. And then to make
I
matters
was.
worse, go ahead.
I assume she knows she's being followed. Maybe.
Yeah, that was my assumption too. The other thing that I got to me is like the fact that she's shitty at following people actually is quite realistic.
Of course.
I don't know why Inga did not notice her, especially since she just drives. Maybe it's just because she's so bad at it, she just drives through the gate like she has every right to be there.
Yeah, but even like, I mean, the gate's automated. It'd be funny if there was like a toll guy. Who's that behind you? Who's that
Yeah.
over there?
But I mean, one of the things that gets people noticed is acting suspicious. And she just drives along right behind her. She doesn't really try to hide herself all that much at all.
No.
So she, watches her punch the code in. And she walks through the restricted area door. Which we later find out, I think, don't we, that we eventually find out that this whole area belongs to Santiago, not to the military?
Right.
Yeah.
I think so. Like they're planning big things in the real world. So
Lord
I
Lucifer
do like
said
how. Go
Lord
ahead.
Lucifer
Sorry.
made a comment about cameras. He's like, cameras still existed during this time, and I'm like, yeah, but I think the whole point is supposed to be that Santiago took this over from the military, and therefore he doesn't really want cameras.
Yeah. What does Inga say to him? Like, fucking long live the blessed monarchy or whatever the hell she calls it. Like he basically saying, like you're the ruler now. But I mean, she is like playing him too, right? Santiago.
Oh, she's playing everybody.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's like the double, triple agent. You don't
So
know who she's telling. Oh, actually, you do.
Yeah, she tells Sophie that, her boyfriend's not really dead. And then Santiago says, "Do we know who told her
Yeah.
the truth?" And she looks him right in the eye
Nope.
and goes, "Nope, haven't figured it out."
Yeah.
The only real emotion that she shows is when he puts his hand on hers. There's a moment of alarm. Like she thinks maybe she's caught. And then he just says, we'll find out who did it.
I do like how now they start telling you, Santiago City, and then red letters, harsh realm, or Earth realm or whatever. Because I assume audiences were getting too confused, or they were too dumb, not paying attention.
People really struggled with the virtual reality thing. I mean, that's hard to believe nowadays, but apparently people were really having a hard time with it.
When I think of older people in their 40s and up, with kids and a house and a job, and they just got the internet, maybe if they're in a well-to-do kind of family, they just got a computer. They've had a computer, they just got internet kind of. And then they're watching this weekly, if you're catching it at all, and with commercials. Yeah, I mean, this could be harder to digest. I mean, I'm paying attention to episode 3 and 4, and even I was kind of zoning out here and there. What is happening?
He has given himself excellent mood lighting.
Oh yeah.
We find out later that there are 5 states under his control.
Yeah, we find that out in a minute, but right now he's too busy comparing himself to founding fathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just absolute ego.
The weird thing is, I thought Ohio got mentioned at some point, and yet we see the map getting colored in later, and it's all of New England.
I mean, that's 4 states to 50, but that's not that many.
Yeah, it's very what's it? Apocalypse Now, Marlon Brando's character. He's just taking control.
Well, I mean, if
He's
the
starting with the 13 colonies.
well, that may be. It's also, it's kind of easy to defend a, you know, though I don't know. They never tell you what happened in Canada. I mean, if you're just looking at strictly the U.S., certain.
Well, they joined China, so
Did they actually say that, or
no,
are you just being facetious?
I'm just being facetious.
I mean, then again, we don't really know. Like, the U.S. military built this, so it could be one of those things where I think we mentioned it last week with the boat going to South America. Like, does South America even exist within the program? Does Canada exist? Like, are the 50 states
just-
the only actual like movable areas within the the VR?
Yeah, because the boat
Yeah.
the boat basically comes back. Like it never does get away. It might just be a program loop where like people think the boat leaves, but then it never does. This is what I was talking about where he puts his hand on hers. The nature of their relationship is a little interesting. Hanayama-san says what happens in Canada stays in Canada. The nature of their relationship is a little odd. So then we have our startup. Very much X-Filesy. He didn't.
Yeah,
He
but
did
not
not have.
nearly as cool.
He did not have like. Well, Millennium ran into the same thing that like you could see the touches of what made X-Files really good, but it kind of felt like a carbon copy. And I think it was for the same reasons. There was a lower budget. The timing wasn't as good. Things just didn't land quite as well. And they were much more. I kind of want to say they're much more niche topics. I mean, this definitely is, and I think Millennium kind of was too.
The music in this episode reminded me of the Amish Paradise song. Weird Al.
Well, this is the episode that plays like every episode gets one song, or at least these first three. This one gets like a Rob Zombie song, right? Is that what it is? Play that one a bunch.
I'm not even sure. Does that even continue once they lost budgeting? I can't remember.
I didn't notice it in 4. I didn't notice a cool Moby song in episode 4.
No, me neither.
Yeah. That first 3 episodes, it's like, I know the song. Cool. And then they play it like 3 or 4 times.
I do like the detail here where he's trading, I think, bullets or shells to actually get in the door.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Yeah, I love the fact that like you almost never see people trading money. It's stuff. Because money
It's
just
all
doesn't have any
bartering,
use.
yep.
I love this. Keep closed, no visitors. And he just walks through. Once again, you just act like you belong, and did it say where this takes place? It just says it's outside the city, right?
Yeah.
So we have a guy advertising the feminine wares.
For some reason, I want to say they're in New Jersey. I feel like they mentioned that at some point.
He basically makes it very clear that if you win big at this fight, they will be happy to, take some of that money from you in return for entertainment. And I wish I could remember there's one line where he says, or if you're broke, they'll just tease you. Here's your zip files.
Octagon of oppression. it's funny because I expected like tiny versions of them were going to come out, but I didn't realize it was going to look so silly. Also, I mean, isn't the whole point like this is like a virtual reality? I mean, I guess you die in the virtual reality, you die in the real world. I was just thinking like it'd be in this kind of environment, like wouldn't it be better if they were just, they were really just doing fist fights to the death? But the zip files, I mean, spoil this for me. Are the zip files going to come into play later in another episode? And like they're going to cleverly use zip files to help.
Now the zip files aren't really good for much except, smacking the shit out of each other.
Like they use a zip file to like sneak out of the jail cell and grab the key or something like that. That'd be cool. I have a zip file on me, bro. Oh shit. I mean, that'd be pretty useful if you have a little digital version of yourself that can run around and interact with things. Like, dude.
Can they interact with anything other than themselves?
I guess other zip files. I don't know. I mean, they were shaking the cages around,
Right, we got another military meeting. Inga is once again she apparently takes notes for everyone.
I have detailed files.
They are getting ready to expand their borders. Waters says that Santiago asks him who's taking command, and he says, I'm leaving as soon as this meeting is over to take command myself. Santiago seems to approve of this. So this is interesting because I assume the red of New England is Santiago's territory. But then there are certain shots where it seems to suggest that there are other areas, either that or we're looking through the glass and there's just something behind it.
I think it's the latter.
Yeah.
Which is a little interesting because then you wonder, well, why aren't there more warlords?
Right. I'm sure that was planned for season 2 that never happened.
So Waters leaves. Inga follows him. She says, you were bold in there. This is excellent. And then you find out that she and Waters have other plans
right.
on their own in some way, shape, or form.
So in other seasons, we would have had a warlord, a humongous, in the Mad Max version or area.
Yeah.
I don't know because it doesn't appear that Santiago was supposed to die in the first season. So I just sort of assumed that later seasons were going to involve him taking over more and more of the country and becoming harder and harder to kill. And then we have this shot of him focusing in on her hiney as she walks away. Pardon me while I get the cat off the desk because she's trying really hard to step on my keyboard.
See your honey.
What's interesting is that they've had this entire conversation in front of the guy guarding the door right there.
Yeah.
Granted, they didn't really say anything incriminating, but they weren't real subtle either. We're back to the fights here. He is looking for a guy who can forge chips to get them into the city.
Oh yeah, here we go. The zip files.
Yep. There he is.
It's very Star Wars chess, It's fun.
It was also funny because when there is introducing him, he introduces both of them as like name unknown, comes from unknown, height and weight unknown, and then he like the red guy, he's like unknown, except I bet against him. Because he's smaller. And I think you're supposed to assume that means he's going to win because, the underdog thing. But so they start going at it. this guy starts making moves on Florence.
I
Not
mean,
very
why wouldn't
subtly.
you?
Not very subtly.
Now, this guy, I was like, I know him from Rookie of the Year. He's also in a good Woody Harrelson movie called Sun Chaser, but you may know him. He's the voice of Dib from Invader Zim. I'm like, damn it. That's who he is. Shit. I knew I've seen this
I
guy
was trying to
everywhere. A
figure out
bunch of
what
places.
I knew him from, but
Yeah,
because
I
I haven't
recognize him
seen any of
from
those things.
Rookie of the Year. Sun Chaser's great. It has problems, but it's a good one. He's in it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I feel like I know him from something else, but I can't think what.
He's been in a lot of he was in an episode of Blossom. Is that what you know him from?
No.
I don't know.
Do you know what his name
Anyway,
is?
it was. I just had it. It was like Alan something. Oh man.
Andy
Oh,
Bergman
God.
or Andy
That's
Berman?
it. That's it. But yeah, he's in this one episode, and and we're about to get this weird. I don't know what this relationship is with him and this other guy behind him, and the dog collars and the chains, and it's a bit. Your business, bro. I'm not gonna ask any questions, but we need those passports, dude. We need those
Yeah,
chips forged.
I think the implication is that he pissed this guy off, and the guy is kind of his middleman or something.
I don't know. I was assuming something a little more kinky.
You look a lot less tougher with another man chained to your neck. Also, why would you chain your two necks at each other? Like I could just run and like hurt your spine. If I was being held captive, right? You would tie my neck up to your hand like a leash, right? I mean, if I had my old dog Rex was like 100-pound German Shepherd Chow. You know how hurt I would get if I put his leash around my neck and let him go chase a deer or something. Ah!
He was in a
That'd be a
single
nightmare.
episode of CSI. That's what I remember him from.
Oh, this guy? Would you remember what episode it was? Those are always fun.
Uh,
And the bald guy played a system lord in Stargate.
hang on.
Maybe he's a system lord. That they were kind of weird. that way.
It doesn't say
In
which
what?
episode it.
Stargate.
11 angry
okay.
jurors.
Nice. I always love especially with Law and Order and CSI and SVU. Like when you describe, he's from that episode where the guy is making like a mushroom tincture to kidnap women and put them in a sex cult. Like every episode you describe is like insane. He was in the episode where the maid was like poisoning the boy with like flowers that she bought from the garden that the guy had. It's like, what?
Yeah, so this guy apparently thinks that he's going to... It turns out Pinocchio knows him.
Right.
He was like a major in Santiago's army. And Pinocchio figures out very quickly that's where Freddy is getting the chips from in order to do his forging.
Yeah.
Arshram's a small world.
Because he basically says like, oh, what would Santiago... Like, what are you doing here? What would Santiago think about that? Here's your little dudes fighting.
Yeah.
That's one pretty big little dude. Damn.
Well,
But yeah, like everyone's watching this digital fight, and then a real fist fight's breaking out in the stands, and no one seems to care.
Yeah, not at all. Well, because this is the fight they all bet money on.
Let's watch the real fight.
There are several because Florence punches out the guy who won't leave her alone.
Oh, right, yeah.
And
again, another reason why you don't have a freaking leash around your neck when you're getting into a fist fight with somebody. Like, I'm just gonna grab the leash and start punching you in the head.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a good idea. You think you look tough, you don't. Lose the leash. You'd look infinitely more badass.
Well, and the funny thing is, The only thing I can think of is that he must have a harsh realm persona so that nobody knows he's one of Santiago's guys.
No, it's like The
But
Sopranos when they find that one dude at the gay bar. You're like, what are you doing here? Nothing. This is what you do on your time off? Chain
hello,
yourself
Ben.
to another man?
Yeah, exactly.
God.
Oh
yeah.
So they end up like pile driving right into the fight everyone bet on, which apparently does
Right.
not hurt the zip files in any way, shape, or form.
They get out of the way. They dodge. So it's implied that they could have been hurt, by physical people,
But what happens to the boxes? That's like, isn't that like their energy source or something?
I think, no, that was like their little containment, that's where they were kept in, so they could get transported to the ring.
'Cause
I mean,
otherwise
that's the
they're-
thing is like, do the zip files like disappear? Do they turn off? Do they fight to the death? Like if you don't put
I was
them back in
gonna
the
say-
cage, do they just start running around?
I feel like they're like fighting roosters. You have to keep them
Oh, yeah.
in a box because
Caged up,
otherwise they're
yeah.
just going to fight.
Right. They're like,
But what's
they just-
interesting is Pinocchio definitely had the upper hand, and then somehow they like basically fall out of the sky directly onto this thing.
yeah, they're like up in the stands, but it's not how stands work. God.
And then, of course, this is a good time for a raid,
Of course.
which is bizarre because they're not in Santiago's territory. And apparently he's got some big military thing going out shortly. So, but for some reason they felt the need to have a police movement. Or unless this
Santiago
is
Santiago
this supposed
finds
to be-
zip. Oh, sorry.
I think maybe this is where they were supposed to be expanding to. I think that's supposed to be the idea, but man, that seems like a real, like, why would you want to expand to a bar?
Now, I think Santiago is just vehemently against zip fighting. He thinks it's wrong. And he's trying to put a
changing
stop to
each
it.
I mean, yeah, I assumed that this was part of his expansion plan, and it doesn't even really matter, like, if the land that he's taking over is useful or resourceful.
Right, it's just a
the
coincidence.
fact- it's for him to just claim it for the sake of claiming it. It's power for power's sake, and it's just a nice little coinky dink, I guess. That
Well,
that
what's
it
his name
happens to be
is
the
here.
same
Like they
spot.
know that they're looking for, what are their names? Pinocchio and Hobbs. What's his name?
Hobbs.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, what's his name? The guy who's banging digital Samantha Mathis and real life Inga.
Waters.
Yeah, Waters. Thank you. Waters is there. Like, where are they? So I mean, basically those two ruined the zip fighting because they showed up. That's awful. I'd be annoyed as a zip fan,
Well, but-
as a zip fight enthusiast.
I mean, I feel like if you're invading another territory, taking over an individual bar seems like a very low priority.
Not if it's a really
and yet,
cool bar.
Yeah.
and yet Waters, like, this is where Waters is. Unless they figured out that this is where the forging is going on somehow. But I feel like
Oh.
one or two lines could have really tightened this up a lot.
What I would assume you could just think is like literally to retcon it, you could think they're after the guys, but they don't want to draw attention, so they make it seem like they're busting the bar. They don't want to make it seem that they're after these insurgents.
And she kind of goes OCD here. Like, oh, I got to pick up all the chips.
Yeah, like she never would have been caught. They actively say we have enough. Like, go.
Is she a vampire? This is like a new thing I didn't know about vampires. Is they literally have to? Dracula has to count things. Have you heard this? This is like
That's
a new
very
one.
Old. That's a very very old.
Yeah.
wives'
So if
tale
you
thing,
basically
yeah.
like throw seeds at Dracula, he can't attack you. He has to stop and count the seeds.
Yeah.
What a stupid weakness. And apparently Dracula has superpowers, so he can count really quick like Rain Man. But still, that is weird. It's one of those superstitions that I'm glad has died out. Anyway, the point is she could be one of those weird vampire Rain
I mean,
Man
you
types.
think garlic seems fine, but like
Garlic makes
seed
sense because
sound.
werewolves and vampires would have like strong sense of smell, so it would upset them.
I mean,
Counting is that
upset them is one thing. Not being able to enter Italian, households is quite
oh
another.
right? Yeah, I don't know, man. Those Italians eat a lot of garlic. I think you're saying, hey, you put a bunch of garlic on the front door. You're saying my blood is coursing with garlic. You don't want this, vampire man.
How would that work? I mean, if you eat too much garlic, it can literally come out your pores.
It does. I mean, people like Indians and some Italians, you could smell it when they sweat. Sometimes it happens to me when I'm eating a lot of garlic. Your fucking BO changes. It's weird.
It does.
All right, so they run into an alleyway. They're like the only ones to escape because, of course, they are. Freddy knows where there's a glitch, so he shows
the
them.
glitches are going to become a good, Deus Ex Machina for random episodes and stuff.
Well,
Yeah, but
yeah. I mean,
didn't
I
we get
love the
another-
glitch. I love the glitch idea, but I
we
do
get
not
another
love how
cutscene.
frequently it's leaned on.
We get another
Yeah, it's
cutscene too of them
Right.
going to the bad guys, and they're like, "Where'd they go?"
Oh yeah, Jacob's very
Where are
irritated
they?
by how many times people run in and there's like a narrow escape. But he at least is smart enough to say, like, there has to be a glitch here, find it. And then he
Yeah.
randomly decides to go take a leak.
Well, when you get excited, like with firefights and stuff, I've heard this. Like when people are in war and nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden, like firefight breaks out, a lot of guys suddenly have to urinate, and it's not uncommon for people to like take cover, pull out your gun, and then like pull out your other gun and relieve yourself, like right then and there, because your bladder just like kicks on. It's crazy.
Interesting. Welcome to Squishy Banana and to Wormy Spoons. Good to see you both here. We are talking the very strange Inga Fossa, which I enjoy a lot. So, yeah, they're all hauled out. They're loaded into trucks. They know who she is. Oh, yeah, here's your zip files again. Like, still fighting out on the street as their owners are getting arrested.
I want them to have their own spin-off episode where they decide to be friends and go on an adventure together, like Milo and Otis.
Buddy cop
Like
zip
the-
files.
Like the two little guys on Willow,
Yeah, the
just
brownies.
following people around.
The brownies.
Yeah,
My favorite is when the brownies call Willow Peck to his face. They are smaller than him, yet they hurl like midget insults at him, slurs at him. It's insane. The brownies are like my favorite part of that movie.
This feels very out of character for her. She's been like the smart one of the three, honestly, and now she just
Yeah.
like headbutts this guy in the face for no reason.
and what does he call her? A coin slot. That sounds kind of
I
derogatory.
don't know, but it's how it's how she comes to Water's attention.
Yeah, I assume she
is
wants
that
to
what they
be
call
taken
the-
in.
Is that what they call the programs? Coin slots.
God, I hope so. Yeah,
was-
the rest of the coin slots, yeah.
I mean, it seems to be at least somewhat well known that the ones who can't speak are healers. Like, it's not really well known, but it's also not a secret. So
So that was like a programmed derogatory term. It wasn't like a female derogatory term, right? Coin slot. That's kind of what I thought he was saying.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is better.
well, I assumed he was referring to her as, a VC prostitute because there were a lot of women in there. But
Right. I assumed it was something like that. I was like, Jesus, that's a hardcore insult.
But still, it just seems very out of character for her to just suddenly like go apeshit. And we never
like
see
I
any
said,
sign
I
of it again,
assume-
I don't think.
Yeah, I assume the reasoning is you're trying to get one-on-one time with the bad guys, or distract them from the other two that have escaped. I don't know.
Well, except that by being brought to Water's attention, now he knows who it was he was chasing. Because he says, "Oh, I know
Oh.
you. Like, they're here."
So, oh my God. So it's a coincidence. They're looking for them and they find them there.
So we end up in this like weird little null area. It's not like this is not like a glitch where you just go from one area to another. They're basically like in non-existent
like
space.
It's like the areas of the map you can't get onto in a building.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the Matrix where they have the loading screen where it's all white, and they load in weapons and stuff. That's fun. Black is spookier.
Well, and it kind of makes more sense, really. I mean, if you're trying to give the impression of, behind the dark side of the moon, so to speak.
The back doors. And they also have this like interstellar type thing where they can, see like they're like, it's like when you're in a game glitch and you go outside the level,
This is like the scene from The Matrix in the bathroom. They crash through the wall.
Oh, right. Yeah. So dude. Yeah. The toilets too. I mean, it literally takes place in a restroom. Like that can't be a coincidence. Like one of the two, like they had to have copied the Matrix, right? Like,
well,
okay,
the Matrix copied a lot from Dark City, so
a little bit, yeah.
No, because they literally recycled a lot of the sets and stuff. Because that's why it has that very similar like black and green palette.
Okay,
but go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I want to point out here, it's another example of Hobbs being stupid because he sees Waters and he immediately draws his gun and he starts flipping out. He killed Sophie. How long have you been in Harsh Realm? And he still hasn't
she's not real.
But that's my point. Like, he still hasn't wrapped his head around the fact that was a VC. In fact, and like not to like get too far ahead, but in the next episode, he's writing a letter to his wife, and it like he says something where it implies that he's been there so long he's not even sure what month it is anymore. So like, dude, you've been here a while. How the hell have you not figured this shit out? Like,
it reminds me of it's like Zoolander. It's like Zoolander, where conveniently with David Duchovny from X-Files, but he's like, but why male models? Are you serious? I just told you. Why male models? Like, it's like the same thing. Like, he doesn't get it. Like, I'm just picturing like lots of deleted scenes of Pinocchio, like frustratedly, like, God damn it, for the 1500th time. They are not real.
It's just insane because it really feels like the U.S. government just isn't sending in their best.
No.
Well, no, they
really
have.
not.
I mean, did you see all the people they sent in before him?
I mean, yeah, but it's just like we're at the point where they're just sending whoever they got.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
I guess the Green Berets and the Navy SEALs, they've already gone busy. In. They're nowhere to be found. They're just sending in anyone at this point.
I think Miss Sparkles is kind of right, though. The thing is, he does understand that these people only exist in this world. He just doesn't think that they don't matter.
It would make sense if Samantha Mathis's character was dead in the real world, and he's like, holding on to her or something, or maybe estranged from him. I mean, I understand he misses her, but it's like, all you got to do is get into the real world and you will be reunited with Sophie. Yeah. You should not be concerned about the digital Sophie that died long ago. It's a good thing she died. Otherwise, you'd be having feelings for this digital Sophie, and she'd be, you'd be treating her like your dog, who also isn't real. Like, I think it's cute the dog keeps coming back and stuff, but, like, is the dog going to die? He better not. But at the same time, he's not real, so I shouldn't care. But it's the same thing with the dog, I guess. Like, if someone killed the digital dog, I'd be like, you bastard. So. But yeah, to be able...
Who we got? Sanitation? Send him in.
Well, it's just like I understand, like, you're pissed that he killed digital Sophie, but the idea that you can't even control yourself in this moment where you are being, covert and hidden from the enemy, you have to expose yourself. Why?
Well, I mean, Pinocchio does talk him down pretty easily and says, like, we can use him.
Don't do it.
Um, but yeah, no, he doesn't ever stop thinking of them as people.
Right.
And I think Miss Sparkles is right. It's like people who, think that their language learning thing is, really,
Yeah.
really attached to them.
Her. Yeah, we didn't realize like there's Terminator, The Matrix, and Her. That's like another one in the AI apocalypse.
So he's on the ground. He's been told not to move. Pinocchio's like, dude, you pissed yourself. Cover up. What are you doing? And he's like, he told me not to move. So he literally just reaches down and covers him up. And he's like, I don't want to see your shortcomings.
Good news. It's not pee. Sorry.
Oh my god.
I was like, what was Pinocchio's relationship with this guy that he, like, reaches down and covers up his dick?
No,
Yeah,
he unbuckled
I mean-
his belt. He didn't do that. He unbuckled his belt and pulled his gun away.
I think if you've seen enough action, like the idea of like, wiping down a man's pissy pants isn't too terrible.
Well, but when we find out later that Waters says, I not only got your job, but your woman. I mean, this implies some, personal history between the two.
I love how like the guy is still what's his name? Alan. He's still wearing the leash, even though he likes the leash. He's like a fashion thing, I would take that off immediately. Yeah. And this is also a funny scene. I thought this was funny when I watched this. They cut this little chip out of him, and honestly, like, yeah, that would hurt. But your reaction would be more like, ow! Not like, ah! Like screaming in pain over this little razor cutting your skin. Like, it would hurt, but it shouldn't hurt that bad.
Well, I wondered if, because these people are being implanted because Santiago wants to keep them from getting out of the city, and it's quite close to the surface. I wondered if it intentionally shocks you to prevent people from doing exactly this.
He could be screaming like, "No, don't take my chip!" Like that could make more sense. Because I remember seeing the clip where he just cuts him with a little razor, and like that would hurt. Like I said, you would definitely be like, "Ah, what the hell, dude?" But you wouldn't be like, "Ah!" That's how you react when someone's like chainsawing your arms off. Ah,
right, which is
no!
why I'm saying, like, if you were going to implant a bunch of people with chips.
And maybe it shocks you. Yeah, you said
reasonably near the surface. Like, wouldn't you want to do something to make sure that it was real uncomfortable for them to ever take those chips out?
Tamper alert.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a cool idea. I just don't think that the episode does anything to like allude to that.
Yeah.
Like there would be some sound effect of something, or like,
or if they're cut out of your body, they stop working. I mean, that's
kind of what I thought. Like, if you take my chip out, I disappear. Like, that could make more sense.
But I mean, like, both of the ones that get their chips cut out scream like crazy, which suggests it hurts a lot more than it should.
Or the people who wrote this don't understand, pain thresholds.
I mean, maybe, but we complain bitterly about not being spoon-fed information all the time, and I think we are shown that for whatever reason it's extremely painful.
Yeah, I think it just cuts down to it's more dramatic if they're screaming. It's not dramatic if the guy just goes ow, which is more realistic. Ow,
yeah, I was gonna say it's probably more of a directing choice to just be like, go for broke. It's gonna sound great.
Go crazy, scream. It hurts more than anything. The actor's like, I just really don't think this would hurt that bad. I mean, I've cut myself before. It's not a big deal.
It's the magically disappearing, reappearing dog.
I know he's very convenient. He's a little Schrodinger's dog. He's there when it's useful. He's not when it isn't. I do like, like I said, I do like I don't like the idea that there's a physical chip. I would think like, hey, they're gonna implant something on your digital self of a tracking device. Like they would just upload it to your coding and it would be like ingrained into your DNA. But you can't conveniently remove that, like the plot allows.
I have a fan theory that the dog is a glitch. just because of
That'd
the
be
number of times he disappears and then suddenly is there again.
Yeah. I mean, he's a program. It would be really sad if the dog dies and he doesn't glitch out and disappear. He just stays there, like dead. And you're like, wait, what? No. No. And then you get back to the real world and Sophie's like, Dexter's been missing since you've been gone. No.
I do like
that would
some
be the
of the
best.
visuals here, where like they're showing all this propaganda. You know, you've got buses and buildings with Santiago's face on it. It's like borderline comical.
Yeah. Dude, that would be
Santiago
like
has- Go.
if you had like an actual happy ending to this show where he gets back to his wife and he beats Santiago and this is like a 2-hour movie. It'd be cool if he had the dog with him, the digital dog, and the dog doesn't disappear when he goes through the portal, and then Sophie's like, oh, Dexter's been missing this whole time, so he realized that he's been secretly protecting this dog, and it's a good thing that he kept the dog alive, because it was the real dog. Somehow.
Somehow, like you have to imply the dog's just hooked up to some
The
wires
dog's in a chair.
somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, dude, no.
We gave it to him for morale.
We knew that the dog would be the motivation to get you through the harsh realm, so we put it in there. We know you love Dexter.
Inga comes in. Santiago wants to congratulate him for having completed his mission. He's, not looking very happy with life. And then she says, I want to congratulate you too. And then we find out exactly, he's not only, he's been doing more than just watching that ass, apparently. And then they proceed to get busy, in the middle of the conference room. Which you'd think she would be smarter than...
Nah, bro, it's part of the kink, dude. Santiago could walk in at any minute.
And yet later, she immediately just shuts him down and says, like, you're exposed now. Like, I'm out.
Yeah, it's
and
like disclosure.
They never actually get anywhere because she says, like, you're bleeding. What happened? And he says, I set a trap. And then they go back to it.
I wanted them to remove my chip. So you acted like it hurt really bad for theatrics?
I think
I guess
he
so,
already
yeah.
knew they. I think he already knew they removed his chip and then just pretended, like he's like, oh well, I can use this to my advantage. Like, I'm gonna pretend that was my intention all along.
Yeah, it's like a reverse psychology. No, don't take my chip. I love my chip, please. I'm off the grid now. Thank you. You've given me superpowers, idiots.
It's like Briar Rabbit. No, don't throw me in the briar patch.
Yeah. I do love how they keep telling you Santiago City and then red letters harsh rail. I hope that mechanism keeps getting more specific. Like they keep telling you more specific in different color fonts, like where they are.
So he's like, well, this is a push button thing. It's going to be completely, like, the chip isn't going to get us through. It's going to be completely unpassable. And he goes, oh, yeah? And then he just knocks on the door. And the guy that they met at the bar the night before opens it, and he just punches him out.
He appears to kill him, too, because he falls down with his eyes, like, it looks like his eyes are wide open. I can't tell in my 360p version I'm watching, but it seems like he dies. Like, are his eyes open or closed? I cannot tell, but if they're open, that's terrifying.
I can't tell either.
But I love the stock punch sound effect we get, psh,
I mean,
big air puff.
We know he doesn't kill him because, number one, he doesn't disappear, and number two, he shows up later.
Yeah, okay, right.
But it would be interesting if he just, like, maybe he didn't knock him out, he just stunned him so bad he hit the ground.
That was
That would
quite a
also be
punch,
It would be also more realistic if he just knocked him down.
Yeah, I mean, if you punch someone, not technically, because he seems like he punches him, like, in the chin, like, right up front in the chin. But if you go, like, under the side of the chin, like the jaw, like where your neck is, like, that will cause your people's legs to buckle out under them and they will fall down.
Santiago City, Harsh Realm, 229 Hastings Street, Billy's Nursery.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. She's getting more red and yellow and blue and green, all the fonts, and it's like
See,
stacked,
the,
covers the whole screen.
The actual shot of him throwing the punch is just pure 90s cheese, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The sound
of course.
effect is like the cherry
sound
on
effect
top.
that's so loud.
Yeah.
It, like,
And here's where we find out that Santiago has gone all 1984 with the television shows.
Like, again, if I was Hobbs or if I was Pinocchio, I'd be like, bro, if you're going to be seen with us, take off the leash. Like, I'm not going to be associating with some weird, like, lose it, please. It's also just dangling around, and it's just like making sound, and it's only disadvantages. There's no advantage to having the giant leash on your neck. Lose it.
Well, they're there to steal clothes anyway, so.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it'd be funny if he's wearing the
See,
suit. He still has the leash on.
Tasteful brown suit.
He's still got the leash with the wallet chain like into his pocket, you know. I do like when he shows him the TV and every channel's on the Santiago propaganda channel.
Yeah.
He scrolls through like 12 channels. It's all the same thing.
Did you guys watch Widow's Bay?
Mm-mm.
It's very, very good. And there's that episode where he goes to the inn and all the channels are the weird tourism channel. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And then the bus, the propaganda. Like, I just imagine Santiago like sitting at a desk sometimes, like making these executive decisions. I want my picture on a bus, on all the buses. I want my picture on a billboard.
I mean, I feel like at this point, the bus company probably is trying to get in good with him and puts his name on it. You know, puts his
They
face
did
on
that
it,
without asking. Yeah, what do you think about our new buses, Santiago? Please don't kill us. It's great. Thank you. Love it. Yeah, so Racer was there, right? You were there watching Widow's Bay with us, right?
Yep.
Good.
So we find out that Pinocchio's not coming on the bus. He doesn't have the social requirement chip. And he basically just says, "I got stuff to do." But as soon as the bus pulls away,
Immediately gets captured. Oh my god. So stupid.
Whoops.
Like you knew it was coming. And then he's throwing a temper tantrum on the bus because Pinocchio's not there. And everyone's just looking at him like he's got three heads. It's like they're terrible at keeping a low profile. And like there's no like I know they're in a virtual reality, but are there no like cameras in the VR? There's no cameras on the bus, like you can't tell that the guy that just swiped in clearly wasn't the guy like the chip belonged to a completely different dude. You don't see this
the
like
opposite. It's not like there's no cameras. It's just like the camera, like the all-seeing eye would be omniscient. Like, or is it omnipotent? Omniscient. It would be able to just see whatever, you know? There is no physical camera that needs to be anywhere for them to somehow figure out where the hell people are. And like you said, like everyone would have like ID numbers and tracking devices and like, it's just, there's a lot of questions.
well, yeah, my main question is, the whole idea is, well, we're letting them go so that we can like get them into the central base and capture them, and there's no way that they'll get away. But they just did that with Pinocchio without actually having to deal with the whole bus ride. And how does Hobbs not see Pinocchio getting captured, considering he's looking out the back window as it happens?
Right.
I guess all the Santiago propaganda pictures are just blocking the window.
This feels to me like Clark Kent is like, looking at him from a bus seat.
It's very like fashions of the 60s. 13th floor, Dark City. Everyone's wearing these like, muted, old-timey kind of colors and fashions. His haircut even sucks. Like, I just don't This guy should have been the lead. Make this guy Hobbs. I don't know. He He seems better.
But anyway, they start talking about the real world again, and he's basically Freddy's like, is there space in the real world where people don't try to like point guns at you and shoot you all the time? And Hobbs is like, I hope so. Welcome to Gappa After Dark. I think you are new here, so welcome to the herd. But basically, Freddy's like, I want to take a chance, even if I, end up not being able to go through.
Wait. Gap After Dark. What happens in 2034? Usually people have, like, dates in the past. What are you trying to tell us?
It's an Easter egg.
Yeah.
We'll find out when it happens.
Watch the world end in 2034. We all like, dude, there was a guy named Gap After Dark who knew. He was Nostradamus.
I mean, I do have to say that considering he got everyone else to put on nice suits, the fact that he's still walking around in his, like, torn up sweater is...
Yeah.
Mankind will evolve in 2034. No, we won't.
No. It's his last four of his social. That's what it is.
So this is where he tells Pinocchio that, like, I got your job and your woman, and so I know what's going on.
DB Sweeney's coke bloat is really helping sell the scene, because he looks all,
Yeah.
swollen and upset.
Yeah.
Bags under his eyes.
I mean, honestly, everyone except for the main character is giving a really good performance in the show so far. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean to dig into him, but he really is like the issue in terms of the acting.
Freddy is in this one episode and does a better job. I suppose he's one of those actors that, like, never worked again and is, like, in such desperate straits we could get him on the show. Just be like, what were you thinking? I feel like there's, like, sudden silence here. Stupenzo appears to be having connection issues.
Like this here.
No, I don't.
Oh.
Are there no cameras watching this? Just like,
Once again, you just have to assume that for whatever reason, there's no actual cameras.
Yeah.
But then how did they shoot all those propaganda films of Santiago? Like, it doesn't... Like, dude, there are people boning in his office, in, like, his main battle room. Like, it just seems like there's no cameras anywhere, dude.
I mean, to be fair, in the 90s, cameras were far rarer than they are now.
I mean, yeah, but these are still, like, military bases and, like, important buildings. You would assume, like,
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that it probably would have been less noticeable to the audience at that point in time.
That's fair.
Maybe it's only the people in the real world that have access to all the video information, like they're observers,
We had ATMs back then.
But you would have like people in the real world getting up to Santiago, and they would be the ones telling you, "Yo, man, that chick Inga, you might want to talk to her."
So she shows up. She's supposed to be the kind of last. She's supposed to be the one that catches them. She's supposed to be the one that, like, sets the alarm off so they can get busted. Instead, she shows up and warns them, like, that's a trap. Don't activate that. And then she tells them about Santiago's plan, right? Or am I getting ahead of myself?
I think she hints at it and alludes to it where, like, something bad is going to happen in the real world and Harsh Realm will basically be all that's left.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that is a crazy plot point, and that would be awesome if true. Like, that's a crazy dastardly plan. But I don't trust a damn word that comes out of this woman's mouth. I don't even believe her when she's talking to the guy she's sleeping with. You know, like I feel like she's lying to everybody.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
me
Like
too.
she's
you
meant
don't
to be a monkey wrench right now, and I like it. I think it's a cool addition for the episode.
Totally.
you don't
And
you don't trust
go ahead.
you don't trust her when she's talking to the guy she's sleeping with. Which one?
Yeah. Waters. But yeah, I mean the idea, like, hey, I'm the dictator of this virtual world, but that stupid real world keeps getting in the way, so I'm gonna blow it up, and then we'll just stay alive in the virtual world forever. Like, I don't know how that's gonna work when we're all hooked up to IVs and stuff in the
right.
real world. Just seems like we'll all just wither on the vine.
I have never been able to figure out if his plan was to make Harsh Realm all that was left, or if his plan was to put the real world in the same state and then just walk through with his ready-made, well-fed,
Ah,
um,
Right. Yeah.
take over the real world.
massive numbers of troops who are expecting, things and are not thrown into chaos. So he also does not listen. Alarms go off.
Oh,
Uh,
also, I'm sorry. I believe that she now mentions to him that Sophie is pregnant, right?
She does right here while they're trying to
Oh,
get.
okay.
She's trying to get. They're trying to get the chair working. They don't
Yeah.
trust her. She then pulls out the letter and says, "I've been to see Sophie. She's pregnant with your child. And in order to protect her and your child, you need to stay here and finish what you started." Which seems like a weird argument since she's still giving him really no information. I mean, now you'd think he'd want to go back more. But for whatever reason, he says okay. She helps him out of the building, and then they go back, and Freddy's still sitting in the chair, even though this has to have been.
I'm stuck to the chair.
Jacob, I guess this is another one of those, entering the rooms, and this is going to end up. Well, no, they enter the room and Freddy is there, so it's not like they enter the room and it's empty. But yeah, so there's this very long, Willy won't he thing. It's like a one-sided romance, and then they rush into the room, which theoretically there should be no way for him to have gotten out of.
Yeah.
There's another alarm that gets set off. Oh, the alarm is set off anyway because this guy tries to get in. How, I don't know, since he doesn't have a chip now.
Yeah, that was one of my issues. Like the way they show it happen in the episode is almost as if like he scans his chest where the chip would be, and it was almost like as if it was like a double entry, when in reality it just shouldn't have scanned, right? Like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
But he's telling him to go kill his little sex slave, right? I mean, he's like, yo, go finish that dude, right?
And then yourself.
He's saying, Freddy's screaming, help me, help me, help me. And he hands him a gun and says, go help him, and then help yourself.
Help yourself. Why would I do that?
Because if you don't, I will make it much more painful. But I think that's supposed to be an implication of the fact that, like, Santiago is so terrifying that people will just kill themselves when he orders it.
Sick.
Waters looks quite alarmed because his plan, that mustache is a choice. Yes, Eraser has mentioned this. So yeah, he's pretty sure he's in deep shit. And then there's a jail cell that's got, conveniently everyone in it, including his two best buds.
Yeah.
And he shows up with a key. And we have this, come to Jesus moment
Yeah.
with the light, shining behind him
Dude,
and
I'm telling you, you seriously, like, I know it's a couple years early, but the guy that plays Ben Hawkins in Carnival could have played this role and it would have been way
Nick
better.
Stahl.
Yes, there we go. That's his name.
Yeah. The yellow bastard. John Connor 3.1 2.0.
Yeah, yeah. But dude, it's the same thing. You get like these spiritual shots of him looking like, he's saving them, he's freeing them. It's the same thing, and that guy can actually act.
yeah.
You have to,
They even look
The
somewhat
Knicks-
similar. And
there's the Nick Stahl, Mark Wahlberg, like method of like seeming, upset, confused, on the brink. Like you just breathe through your mouth like wildly. Like that's the method. He's like, he just kind of pant for no reason, even though you didn't just, that's the like Mark Wahlberg in the Happening, Nick Stahl in Terminator 3. It's like a lot of like oral panting. That's how you convey confusion. This guy doesn't do that enough. And also, yeah, like he just looks. I keep thinking he's the guy from.
That's just Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I know. I keep thinking of the guy from Way of the Gun. He died recently. What's his name? His name is Nicky Cat. I keep thinking this is like a poor man's version of Nicky Cat. He was in Boiler Room and, like I said, Way of the Gun, The Limey, Secondhand Lions. Good guy, good actor. He has
So
the
this
same
is-
look.
this is where Waters gets dumped.
Whoops.
He basically says, like, somebody tipped him off. There's somebody on the inside. And she basically is like, yeah, well, now we're not going to do anything together anymore because, like, you got busted and now you're exposed. Despite the fact that she's the one who betrayed him. Like, she's so good at, like, making people feel bad about things she's done.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
5D chess.
And he looks like he's been, like, kicked in the nuts. He's like, man,
He's like, "Oh, don't leave me. I shot my wife in the VR already. You're all I got left."
But
Yeah,
you
he's
got
having a
your
super
chips
bad
cut
day.
off.
he's having a super bad day.
Where the chip is the in game testicles. You got your chip cut off.
Yeah, because it's Maine, it's Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Massachusetts.
I still think that's something behind the screen.
No, the red. That's been there in several
know.
shots. No,
Yeah,
that's
but I
been there.
think that that's something behind the screen. I don't think that that's like.
Yeah,
No, they
because
show
it's not
them.
completely filled in though.
Well, they don't have the whole territory. But he said we have territory in 5 states.
Five little states in the Union.
Well, but the explosion's supposed to happen in New York, so honestly, that makes the most sense to do it that way. If you're in New York anyway, and man, you'd get you take over Maine, you get all the people with the guns. So, so she
Wait.
goes back in the chair. She goes back to the real world. I think we can definitively say it's something about the headphones because the headphones are the only thing that this chair has in
Yeah.
common with his.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
And the chair is much less glamorous in the real world. And we see her waking up next to Pinocchio.
Who's Two-Face?
Yeah,
Say
then we
what?
understand
Well,
why he
we
doesn't
haven't-
want to come back to the real world.
We haven't seen that part yet.
Oh, sorry.
That's
So what's
weird.
interesting is we assume this has to be one of the same military areas because Pinocchio's there, unless she's had him snuck out of the regular military. And we have this guy who's putting the jacket over her and taking care of her and Pinocchio. So this is not like a one-person secret operation. There are definitely more people on Santiago's secret
Yeah.
crew than. But this also means that Santiago has to know. Everyone seems to know that she was that she was Pinocchio's wife, and yet they still trust her.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, so that's why he wants to stay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's why he wants to stay in the.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because he got his dick blown off in an accident. Sorry.
I mean, it would make sense that the first people you'd send in would be people that had nothing to lose, basically, or
Right.
felt they had nothing to lose.
Oh, imagine if you couldn't walk or something and you were put in the digital world and you could. I mean, that alone would be awesome.
She finds Sophie like under a blanket in the alley over here. Like, why she didn't stay in the truck, I don't know.
Yeah, this was ridiculous because, like, if anyone but what's her name, Inga, walks out of this door, like, she could honestly be dead. Like, oh, here's a security guard that's gonna throw a bag over your head and, you know, shoot two behind your ear. Like, I'm just gonna camp out like a bum by the trash can. Like, I don't think it would have been that much harder for her to have stayed in her truck. Inga goes to go into her car and then notices the truck and taps on the window. Like, this just felt absolutely ridiculous to me.
Yeah, it did.
Imagine
Well,
if
it
you were
makes-
working at a secret military base and you actually found like a legit homeless person camping under a tarp on your top secret authorized personnel only base. What do you do? I mean, you'd
I
be
mean,
like,
at
get out
that
of here,
point,
dude.
impede.
Well, no, at that point, you would just plug him into Harsh Realm. What do you got to lose? Like, listen,
Right.
the soldiers are clearly not getting the job done.
Right.
Send a
That's
crackhead
great.
in. Send in a crackhead.
Yes.
Santiago
All
will
the-
be
all
down
the-
by noon.
All the digital crack you want is in there waiting for you. All you got to do is kill this Santiago guy.
But they go on about like how cold it is out, and yet she just doesn't like sit in her truck.
Yeah.
We have a new one, Mooly. I can't read today.
Molly. Mooly
Molly.
McBread.
There we go.
Hey, Molly.
I made the mistake
What's
of
up,
standing.
Molly?
Is this worth watching?
Yes,
I don't
that's
know.
what I was just
I've
gonna
only
say.
watched. Yeah, I've
So
only watched the
far,
first
I'd
4
say
episodes.
so.
It's fun. If you want a good time capsule of the late '90s, around the time of Matrix and 13th Floor and Dark City.
Yeah, I mean it's basically all of the cheese from the '90s in one show, except with a terrible main actor. I think it's fun. I do think that this is one of the rare cases where if they remade it today, it would be better.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking
Yeah.
of Traffic. I finally watched the British miniseries of Traffic, and I was shocked how similar the plot points are, you know, because it's in England with the Pakistani heroin trade, and obviously the American movie is Mexico with the, you know, cartels and the cocaine. And but it's crazy how, like, you know, there's like similar characters going through similar you know, plot points. And it's like, yeah, this movie or this show, you could do like a really awesome, you know, think outside the box type remake in a movie that could be like clean and tight and more ambitious.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think last week, one of the things that we were talking about is the fact that, like, the VR is so incredibly detailed down to, you know, the pets that people own and what the inside of their houses look like.
Yeah.
And I think that if you were to do that today, it would actually make more sense, like the level of detail, because you could
Yeah.
use the excuse of, like, social media exists. You guys post your entire lives online. Like, you know, you're surprised your dog is here. Half of your
Yeah.
Facebook feed are, you know, it's pictures of your dog, or,
Right.
you know, you in your kitchen. Like, you give away all this information, and we just plugged it right into the machine.
Yeah, see, the only way, like I said last time, the only way it works here is if like it's feeding off of your subconscious and it's creating these things from your own personal memory. Because how the hell would it know about your dog? But yeah, in the post-social
Well,
media world,
there
yeah,
is.
totally.
Well, okay. Well, actually, one thing I will say is that in episode 1, it's implied that his house is wiretapped.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they wiretap whoever they want to throw into the VR, wiretap their house, learn as much about them as they can, and then like I wonder if they can go in and like patch or like add any little bits of information into the system with every upload or new person they send in. But I don't know. That's just a maybe.
No, it makes more sense.
Did anybody else? So she then proceeds to lie to Sophie.
Shocker.
Did anybody wonder where there's this like split second of just wondering whether or not she was just going to offer right then and there?
I mean, I don't know. That didn't really cross my mind. Like, I think it would be too early.
Oh, no. Not that she was actually going to, but like that she was thinking, like she was having this moment of like, pros and cons here.
Oh, maybe.
I'm gonna be upset if Samantha Mathis isn't in, most of the show. She wasn't in the next episode, which I thought was sad.
At first, I thought we were going to get a World War I thing for Sammy, but it's World War
II. We were talking. Man. We were talking earlier about the coloring on this section.
Mm-hmm.
It looks airbrushed to me, not just
my theory is
airbrushed.
My theory is that they say that this was a very early program created for Harsh Realm. So my theory is that even the like programming and the pictures they used ended up looking more like
what's that movie? It's kind of filmed, but they make it look like a cartoon. What's it? It has Keanu Reeves in it.
Wait, what did I miss?
It looks like they cartoonized it a little bit.
Oh,
filmed it, but then kind of.
Okay, it does not. It does not look like that to me at all. It just looks to me like it's got that coloring that was used during that period of time.
Brown, make it brown. When did Oh Brother, Where Art Thou come out? 2000 something.
I don't know. I didn't see it until long after it came out. So
that was the first movie to be digitally filmed entirely digitally, so it could be color coded quickly in post. But yeah, I assume they use special like lenses.
Yeah, I do have to say that like this is clearly more of a contained side episode.
Throwaway for sure.
Kind of filler, but I actually do like the episode. I feel like even from this first shot, like you could already tell this is a guy that's stuck in some type of loop simulation. He knows exactly what's going to happen. He's got it all planned out, down to where the bullets are going to fly or when the grenade is going to, fly through the window. I do like the episode. I just feel like this should be a one and done where we shouldn't get any more of this type of episode. If we get more of these, I'm going to kind of be disappointed.
If I remember correctly, this is it.
No dialogue intro,
Sweet.
You could say a lot with nothing. Yeah, because 2 kind of felt like also like a kind of self-contained kind of throwaway episode. But 1 and 3 feel very connected. And yeah, this 2 and 4 are kind of doing their own thing.
2 to me felt like a world building episode. 4 does very much feel like
this whole scenes here. It looks like they're on a green screen.
Yeah, it does, but I don't think they are. They could be on a backdrop. It could be a. Now, I think they're filming in real woods. That would be easier.
especially in the 90s.
Maybe
Woods,
it's just
woods were easier to find.
maybe they're using a different frame rate or something to do with the camera. Makes it look like.
Yeah, like I said, it's difficult when we're watching this in 360.
Well, keep in mind too that like between 3 and 4, there was this massive change in
Yeah.
budgets and companies and everything else. So there is definitely a drastic difference in how it looks.
Yeah.
And the dog runs off again because the plot requires it.
And dog finds another glitch. So like I said, look at that title saying inspired by the comics based on so and so. It's like it takes up half the screen.
I feel like this is their like passive aggressive way of flipping off the comic book guys after the.
Here's your credit, assholes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be funny if it was like an extra bold, like it'd go in all the way to the top of the screen, fill up the whole frame.
What's
would be
interesting?
awesome.
What's interesting here is that this is the first time that Hobbs has really noticed when he goes through a glitch. Before, he's always been kind of oblivious to everything, and in this case, he's like, "Wait, what was that?"
I mean, I'd like to hope he's learning. It's only been a couple months.
He doesn't really strike like someone who learns quickly.
He's got the memory of a goldfish.
All right, so people are shooting at him. They have this whole plan about, I'm going to pull their fire, you're going to flank around them. That fails terribly. What's interesting is they decide they're spies based on their clothing. Nobody ever says anything about their guns and the fact that they look nothing like anything in this time period.
Yeah.
And their fire rate is way higher. We could take the bridge with this.
I was like, yeah, that guy's got a single shot bolt action. You can
Crazy.
take him with that pistol. Come on.
It is crazy that this is before Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh? In what sense?
We live in a world where everything's brown.
Well, like I said, I mean, this isn't a real world. It is a world that was created, and if those are the color schemes they had when they created it, then, or maybe even if they created it later, they were just trying to get the people who were going in to get the right mindset.
I said this would make more sense if we were cutting back and forth to stuff that was happening in the harsh realm and the real world. Kind of like Traffic again, where like everything's like color coded. You could tell like where we are based on, the color grading. But no, this whole episode takes place here. So it really isn't necessary other than just to get that old timey, World War II vibe. It is a nice touch though.
So this is the bridge that everybody's fighting over. I want to know, did anybody look up whether or not this battle actually happened?
No.
That's the kind of detail I would normally look up, but I just didn't get a chance to do so.
Yeah, because I mean,
I'm
they didn't
sure
just
it
change
is, or
time.
I'm sure it's
they
inspired by some real battle. Like I'm sure at some point during World War II, people were fighting over a bridge.
Right, but they talk about the fact that it was like 45 days or something. It's like some crazy long period of time. And they were evenly matched, and it's this little tiny shitty bridge. So this guy's just sitting here basically chanting to himself, and
When I look it up, all it says is, "You're probably thinking of the Battle of the Bulge." Nothing about a bridge.
so he's sitting there like basically just reciting everything that everybody else is saying. They get taken into this house. They're basically just kind of going, what the hell's going on here? They find a kid hiding out in a box. The kid is scared but loves the dog because, what kids don't love little cute Jack Russell Terrier dogs. I do like that shot. I don't know why. I just like that shot a lot.
Put the lotion in the basket.
I mean, I wasn't going that way. I wasn't going that route, but...
What a cute shot. Let's ruin it. Jesus.
I just picture the dog is saying it, though, and the guy is Precious. Hobbs is the little dog. Because, I mean, Dexter is kind of the star of the show so far, really. Let's be real.
I mean, he's certainly acting better. I'll give him that.
It's going to be Eraser's, entire, commentary on this.
I agree.
The main actor sucks.
I mean, listen, last show was what, Daybreak? My big complaint was shaky cam. This show, it's going to be this guy's performance. It is what it is. Carnival, I had no complaints. So, it is what it is, man.
Honestly, I consider your complaining about this guy's acting to be far more valid than the shaky cam.
Nah, both kind of sucked.
That's just because you didn't grow up in the 90s and truly understand how much shaky cam really existed in the early 2000s. So there's lots of running around, lots of what the hell is going on, lots of, stealing pin-up pictures. Is this the same dog from Frasier? I would seriously doubt it because those dogs are notoriously hard to train. I think 2 sets of tricks would be difficult. So this guy comes in, basically says, "You're new. I've never seen you here before." They figure out that he's trapped in the same loop. He asks if they're on the run from Santiago. The second in command comes in and announces he's going to shoot them. And they were like, well, isn't that up to the lieutenant? And the guy informs them the lieutenant has died. And the big dude is like, how did you know that? But, doesn't let that little bit of oddity, get in the way of his bloodthirst. So this
He's like,
guy's
you should take him round back. It'll be cleaner that way.
Yeah, it'll make less of a mess. Knowing that this is where this guy is destined to get shot anyway. So they go out, and he basically, he's like, you should probably get down. And then this guy, he just get one shot, through the forehead. It's not like there's massive gunfire here. So they never do get down, but they take off. And he says, I'll be seeing you. So they run around like crazy. They come back to the bridge. They run around like crazy. They come back to the bridge. They run around like crazy. They come back to the bridge. And then they just go back to the house and go, okay, now tell us what's going on here.
Yeah, I think the guy lets them know that, what is it, a 2-mile, I believe, radius of the entire map?
Yep. I can't remember how many times he says he's been through this. But basically once the battle is up, it just restarts again.
Mm-hmm.
And then once again, it turns out that Pinocchio apparently knows this guy. Or thinks he does.
I find it really weird that all of these people, all of these soldiers that get plugged into Harsh Realm, all end up being from the same unit or platoon, Hobbs knew Waters, Pinocchio somehow knows this guy, and the guy on the farm with the family from the previous episode. So to me, it seems like they're specifically choosing soldiers from the same units, like specific units. But at no point does it at no point is it stated that Hobbs or any of these guys were ever like special forces or elite units. So like why are you sending these guys specifically? Like is it really just that they've sent so many people in that they're just sending in whoever they can? Like I feel like there's some conspiracy cover up where they're sending in people from certain units to get them out of the real world and cover something up because everyone seems to be from the same 3 units of the entirety of the US Army.
Well, they when Sophie first starts investigating, uh she is specifically led to Mike Pinocchio, and it turns out that his entire, like,
But
everyone who basically, not only did Pinocchio go in, but like everyone who'd ever worked with him has disappeared.
But that's my point. Like, if it was established that they were special forces or elite units, that would kind of make sense. But it's never stated. So I feel
Oh,
like they're pulling people from specific units because I don't know, maybe there was some cover up overseas and it's easier to plug these dudes into Harsh Realm than have them spill the beans on some atrocity. And it's one of those like, hey, if we plug them in, if they get Santiago, great. If they don't, or they never come back out, well, then we don't have to worry about them in the real world again. That could be why there's the wiretapping, because they want to make sure that these soldiers aren't telling their loved ones or whatever about specific classified incidents.
I have two theories on this, and I suspect this is one of those things that we would have found out later, because we never really do find out a lot about how Pinocchio ended up. It's teased a lot about how he ended up here and what happened, but we never find out. So either one, instead of sending people through one at a time, they did in fact start out by trying to send like squadrons at a time after Santiago, and they just sent his entire squad through. Um, and the second one is that because we don't really know much about Pinocchio's background, maybe he was some kind of special forces. And they just started sending his like teammates through after him because
I mean, maybe, but then what about Hobbs and Waters? Like, are they also from another special forces unit that they just forget to mention as a detail?
no, I mean, honestly, I really begin to feel like Hobbs only got sent through because they were running out of options. I still theorize that Waters never walked again. My theory has always been that Waters volunteered to go in after that got shot because he didn't have any other options.
I mean, that's fair, but the problem is that this guy, who I believe we find out his name is Scott Summers, which I just find funny, but we find out that he was either like a deserter or a coward or incompetent, and that led to some of Pinocchio's men being killed in the real world. So once again, they're not sending in the best.
Well, that's what Pinocchio says. This guy keeps looking at him and going, I don't know what you're talking about. So, and like right up until the point where he's killed, he continues to insist that like that's not who I'm not that guy.
I mean, maybe. I feel like the episode doesn't really tell you because it can be one of those like denial things where life is mundane and boring and cyclical as it is. Like it's easier to live in this loop than acknowledge reality and the fact that his incompetence or cowardice got people killed.
Oh
Like
yeah, I mean,
it could be the guy Pinocchio's talking about. It could not be. They don't really tell you.
yeah.
But if he is the guy, once again, it's the U.S. government sending in the worst guy imaginable.
Yeah.
Well, but that may be the best guys didn't work. Maybe we need to send in the because I mean
Crackheads.
Waters was heroic, but he got shot. This guy was heroic, but he only survived out of sheer luck. I mean, he was mainly stupid. They
Yeah,
may have
you're
gotten him.
describing RoboCop 2 though. It's like okay, we tried to send like actual good guys, but they reject the simulation. Send in like a crazy drug-addled criminal. Like, yeah, that's actually a great idea. And they got nothing to lose, you know.
I mean, I was thinking more along the lines they decided that, our top guys aren't working. Let's find someone stupid.
All right. Or they're too smart, they keep questioning things, and rejecting the simulation. This guy's the exact opposite, like the other end of the horseshoe, where he's like,
Yeah,
we gotta avenge Sophie. It's like,
yeah,
dude,
exactly. We're gonna treat everyone exactly like their people.
let it go.
So anyway, he starts making friends with this kid, and this guy's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't get too friendly with him. He doesn't survive past day 28." I always found it interesting. The kid never talks either, and appears to know where there's a glitch, despite the fact that nothing else in here knows that they're a computer simulation. So I find the kid incredibly interesting. Like, there's so many theories you could come up with as to like what the kid means.
I mean, yeah, that is a good point. He doesn't speak at all. He's like the female mute they have in Harsh Realm, where like she heals. We don't really see him have the ability to heal, but he does at least kind of guide them in certain ways, I guess.
I saw Jacob's meme.
I think we find out later that all of the healers are women and they all can't talk.
Okay.
That's hot.
But the kid, yeah, I mean, the kid is some sort of glitch, it seems like. Or he's just a really quiet kid who explores a lot and knows he's going to get shot repeatedly.
Or maybe some of the programs self-aware.
Well, that's the big question, is that, Pinocchio thinks
there's obviously some that are not, that don't know that they're a program, and some that don't know that they are.
I mean, most of them don't think they're programs. They just think that there are two different worlds, like alternate realities. But Pinocchio looks at them as programs, and Hobbs looks at them as people. So they decide that they're going to blow up the bridge in the hopes that will disrupt the program enough to end it. And the other guy is quite resistant at first, because he basically says, like, well, what are we going to go back to? Running away from Santiago. But eventually he's like, oh, you know what? I kind of do want to get out. This ends up going badly because for some reason they decide to build the bomb at the bridge. And they get caught by the Germans.
Well, that's how you do that kind of bomb. You
Is it?
set it and plug the blasting caps into it and hook it up.
It seemed like there were steps that could have been done earlier and then brought it out, but I know squat about bomb building, so.
Well, it's basically C4. I guess an earlier C4.
It's C2, I believe.
Yeah, C2.
I wondered if it was like
when you're transporting it, you don't want to put the blasting cap in it, because it's basically inert unless you add that component.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not upset YouTube by turning this into a how to build bombs lesson.
In Minecraft.
We're talking about the
In
movie
Minecraft.
We're
Sorcerer.
talking about
All
Minecraft
right.
In
with,
in harsh realm. We don't have to say in Minecraft. It's in harsh realm.
I'm gonna start saying that instead of in Minecraft.
In harsh realm.
Yeah, you should blank yourself in harsh realm.
why
I
is
don't
the
really play
dog
Minecraft.
on the bridge? Come on,
Because
dog.
it's
Yeah, I
a
know.
magically disappearing, reappearing dog.
He's bulletproof
Schrodinger's
too.
dog. He is bulletproof, isn't he?
Telling you, the dog is a glitch.
I mean, if you look at that dog's shoulders, he's jacked.
So this is how they get caught. That's okay. I did not see that shot like that in the actual playthrough. That is kind of a fascinating shot.
Prince of Darkness.
That's cool.
See, I was thinking jazz hands. You caught me!
Flash dance. It's like the water pouring on him.
Now that you said that, I can't look at this shot and not see
Jazz
that.
hands. Yeah. It's what's it? West Side Story. You know, the sharks.
He starts doing the moonwalk, you know.
All right. Lots of yellow light here.
This is the brownest episode in the whole show.
Mrs. Sparkle says Magic Mike.
You know, not a bad movie. God, I love Soderbergh. He always manages to impress me, even with his stupid movies.
So then they have another argument about whether or not this guy actually like betrayed Pinocchio's people, because he didn't do more when they were getting caught. He's getting lightly tapped, because apparently that's what the program thinks is torture. He gets threatened with a gun. And then they eventually bring this guy in, and the guy offers him sugar-free gum
Ew.
in perfect English. And then
Dude,
says
it's hard to
this-
find like non-sugar-free gum these days.
He says this is the problem with the 1940s: too much sugar, and they eat red meat 7 days a week.
Sounds best.
People
Well,
were healthier
also a
back
little
then.
bizarre considering that
Yeah.
aren't there like food shortages?
They don't say what animal the red meat's coming from.
Well, there is that.
Technically,
Um,
squirrel is red meat.
Is it?
I don't know. Probably, right? Wouldn't it? I mean, how does that count?
You know, I'm gonna have
What
to
is
look
what
this up
is
now.
red meat?
I mean, technically, pork is red meat, despite the fact that everyone calls it white meat.
Seems I'm not the first person to Google this. It's considered lean white meat. Okay, never mind. Boo.
Wait, squirrel?
So what is? Yeah.
Because
So what
I
is
got,
red meat?
I'm fascinated
Beef.
because I got that it's red.
Well, I know beef is, but is goat? Goat is red meat, right? Goat would be
So it is
red meat.
Yep.
Any muscle derived from mammals. So why would it? A squirrel is a mammal. So what is
Squirrel?
white
Rodent.
meat?
Squirrel is generally
It's a
classified
rodent.
as red meat primarily due to its high myoglobin content and nutritional profile.
Okay, that would make more sense.
which closely
right.
resembles beef and pork rather than white meat like chicken.
Aha.
Yeah, I mean, everybody tries to classify pork as
The other white meat.
The other white meat, but that was really just an advertising campaign to try and
You-
trick people into thinking it was healthier for you.
You confused everybody.
It is in fact a red meat. And the funny thing is that turkey, if you raise turkeys like in your backyard,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
despite the fact that they are nutritionally considered white meat, most of it is actually red.
I mean, it looks
Yeah.
red to me, when you see a raw turkey.
I did
Fascinating.
I did a thing once where I took a store-bought turkey and a backyard turkey and
Farm
put them
raised.
together.
Yeah.
Man, the
Wait,
differences were crazy.
you put them together like a turducken? Like you join them into one animal
No. Like I
and
cooked
cook
off.
them?
I showed
Okay.
them side by side. I cooked them side by
Yeah,
side,
okay.
and then I took the carcasses and boiled them both down.
I
And the
stuffed a
backyard,
store-bought turkey into a farm-raised turkey.
you'd almost have to do it the other way around.
Right.
The farm raised turkey had no grease on the top of the broth, and there was a half an inch of grease on the top of the store bought turkey broth.
Yep.
So
Nice.
They have
yeah.
more fat. They're sitting most of the time, so
Just
Well, and
they have fat.
the breast meat is so big they can't get up and walk around, whereas wild turkeys
right.
will chase you all over the place. We have 5 baby turkeys right now. They're a week old. I can already tell that one of them is a male because if I wear red shoes, it will attack my shoes every time I walk in to take care of them.
That's funny.
The thing is 2 inches tall. So this is the guy that they've been looking for, who almost came very close to assassinating Santiago. And he tells him, I want you to come with me and get out of this thing and go hunt Santiago with me. And the guy laughs and says, "Yeah, that's never going to happen." He says,
Yeah,
"Good luck."
I would rather play the German in a loop over and over again.
Well, he also doesn't think that it's possible to kill Santiago. And they said, "Well, you did it, you almost did it once." And the guy says, "Well, yeah, but that was a long time ago, and nobody's gotten close since." So, because now he's on the lookout. Ms. Sparkles it is adorable when they are 2 inches tall. It is less adorable when they are 3 feet tall.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the exact moment where he's like, yeah, that's funny. And he gives his, main character hero speech. This is our duty. And the guy's like, "Yeah, I came over and joined the Germans. How much do you think I care about duty?"
I mean,
You
to
said
be fair,
duty.
he says he says he joined the Germans once he came into this battle loop because they just had better food overall.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you think you're going to be stuck here forever, I'm not advocating siding with the Germans in World War II at all, but if I'm going to be here a while, I'm going
Yeah.
with where the better food is at. I'm sorry.
Especially
literally-
when it's a simulation and it's going to have absolutely no,
Yeah.
results to the actual war.
I was watching
oh yeah,
a really
I would
interesting
just.
video.
I feel like I'd feel weird in the uniform.
Nah, fuck that. Hugo Boss, those uniforms are sick. Don't lie. But I was watching a video about how submarines famously have the best food in the military. They got a line cook in the submarine that'll make you whatever. And the reason is because you're gonna be cooped up in a submarine for underwater for weeks on end. So the food is the one thing that makes it tolerable. So you show up and you're like, yeah, I want pancakes and grits and bacon and eggs, and they'll make it all for you. They make sandwiches and shit, whenever you want. It's neat. It's the same thing. I will be a Nazi because they got better sandwiches.
Enzo, it doesn't say harsh realm. It just says German side.
German side. Boo. Yeah, because I guess, I mean...
Miss Sparkles is going German because they have better uniforms. Gotta love a man in uniform. Might as well look hot while being evil. Anyway, so the guy has told him when he says we're gonna blow the bridge, he says you don't want to do that. And he's like, "Why?" And the guy won't answer him, and he's like, "That's where the point is, isn't it?" And There's the kid.
Little boy.
And we have this very
Do we know the kid's
convoluted-
name? Do we ever hear it?
Nope.
Cool.
I mean, he doesn't speak once, so I don't think we have any idea.
But he
would just
magically
give
knows
him
the
a
way
name.
to point to rescue hubs. We basically end up with all 4 of them on the bridge here at one point shortly.
It's funny because this episode, what do they call it? When like the Alice in Wonderland anime stories, where you go into like a fantastical world and come back. It's like isekai. It's an isekai story set in another isekai story. Like they're going like levels deep here.
Yep, and this is day 28, so the kid gets shot and he bites it. Disappears. I do kind of want to know how in the 90s they got these effects. I mean, it doesn't look like much when you're watching it, but like when you have the stills like this,
yeah,
and he almost looks like he has like cuts in his face.
I mean, I imagine you just do a traditional kind of like a fade out transition wipe, but then you just add the fun little electricity effects on top of that. Although it would just be cooler if they just disappeared, slowly. Like the lightning effects are fun, and it gives it this own kind of like personal flair. It's like in the Blade movies. Like every Blade movie, the vampires like disintegrate in a different way. But you got to add that little electric touch.
Trader has changed his mind and showed up to help them get off the bridge.
But he blows it before they get there. Like
yeah, this guy is already trying to blow it up. Which makes me wonder whether or not, because he started out saying, "No, I don't want to get out of here." I wonder if he suspected it was off the bridge the whole time, and wants to just blow the bridge so that they can't go back. If I'm stuck here, so are you. So yeah, the fuse is burning, and now we have to go actually pull the blasting caps out of the C2, I guess.
Yeah. Again, I don't know why it's so slow. It's basically an electrical charge.
I don't know why you couldn't just cut the fuse off, but if it is that slow. Yeah, there's a whole thing about the fact that Hobbs apparently like scored really badly on the test that simulated this fight.
Of course he did.
So, yeah, I mean, they're not hiding the fact that he's not a great soldier. Pinocchio makes a run for it. He gets shot. He falls off the bridge. Hobbs is like, no! Isekaiception.
But then he's like, oh, that's the way out. You just jump off the bridge.
Yeah, now that I have the worst weapon and the worst stance and the worst everything, they're going to stop shooting while I check to find out where he went. The funny thing is that the hole in time and space can't be that big. So I love the fact that he just throws himself off the bridge and hopes he lands in the same spot.
Yeah, it's like 2 feet to the left. He's just breaking his neck.
The assassin comes up behind him and immediately gets shot because, Hobbs is apparently also bulletproof.
Yeah,
well, not for nothing. Did you see the way this guy was running and shooting his gun?
Yeah.
Like all of these actors kind of look like awkward holding, their prop guns. I don't know. Like, I'm
So
not saying I'm an
Hobbs, for
expert
instance,
by any
Hobbs-
means, but like all
so
of them look
Hobbs-
consistently awkward.
If you look at Hobbs when he's firing his pistol, he's aiming out of his like secondary eye. You know, like you would focus your eye on your primary one that lines up with the hand you're using. But he's like it's just weird. Um, and yeah, I mean, I kind of you always think like Michael Mann is going overkill when he makes all of his actors. If you're going to handle a firearm in the movie, then you go to the fire range and you start training with guns for months. And that seems like overkill, but it does make the gunplay seem more natural. Like you hold the gun naturally. You're not doing any weird. You're not flagging people with barrels. You're not holding the
Yeah.
gun wrong.
So the assassin gets shot.
Big explosion.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to drag you through anyway," and he points a gun at him, and he's like, "No, go." The other guy decides far too late, "Oh, wait, I've changed my mind, and now I also want to come with you." Gets caught up in the explosion. Hobbs has already gone over. The dog, who was nowhere in any of this, and who was the first one to go through, and who definitely did not jump off the bridge, is there.
Well, it wasn't him. It wasn't the dog.
What was
It was in his head. The dog
Eh?
was in his head. It wasn't actually there in the simulation.
I mean,
He made a copy of the dog in his head.
So you're saying the fact
So not
that
only
he chased the dog through the simulation is just he's not only a bad
Pretty much.
soldier, he's hallucinating.
Exactly.
yeah, I was gonna say not only is he an incompetent soldier, but now he's just tripping balls. Follow the white dog.
All right. So now this guy wakes up and he thinks that he's out. And everything is weirdly not brown this time. So, you can
Right,
understand.
and they do
his
that. You
confusion.
think he's actually out because it's green, and then the camera does this fun pan left, and now the bridge you're about to see is all brown, and it goes back to him, and he's brown. Everything's brown again,
And there's the kid.
and it's the sad rug pull ending. You guys are stuck in this infinitum forever.
Now the question becomes, the guy who went over to the German side, does he also come back?
Maybe.
Probably.
Because he died before the explosion, so I don't know. It was kind of an interesting thing to think about. But so there we go, 3 and 4.
What does Kein Ausgang mean? The episode title.
I have no idea. No exit, maybe something like that.
When in doubt, Google it.
Look at you. No exit. Look at you knowing German. Explain yourself. Why do you know German, Eraserhead?
Is that what it means?
German?
It does. No exit or no outlet.
Huh?
Oh,
Good guess.
Suspicious.
Yeah, we're just gonna say it was a good guess. All right. So next week, episodes 5 and 6. Everybody, plug your stuff. Eraser. Anything
All
you
at
wanna
once?
yeah. I think I told you last week. I don't know if I'm going to be here next week, or if I am, I'm going to be pretty late. So, you guys should all be here next week. I don't know if I will. And then in a couple weeks' time, I believe I'll be on Jacob's for the next Babylon 5 coverage.
Nice.
Sweet.
That's all I got.
All right, Jacob.
Yeah. Tomorrow on my show, we'll be doing The Quiet Man. Then I'll be on Roman's. I'm not sure what we're doing on his.
I thought
show.
Roman was not.
Oh, that's
doing
right.
this week.
It's canceled this week. So nothing Tuesday, Thursday, and then I may or may not be doing something with Potato on Friday or Saturday, something like that. I'll be back here next week.
Sweet. Enzo? Eraser's
Oh,
already
did
had
the
enough
hot-
of the show
dude.
and skip next week.
Dude, I did the hot ones challenge yesterday. It wasn't bad, but it was hot. But I managed to do all right. I figure I'll do it again. I'm gonna go see Leviticus tonight in a couple hours. The gay conversion therapy horror movie. That should be fun. But the Sunday hot ones stream was fun. So I'll be doing a Thursday show. I think we're gonna watch more Space Cadets. Tuesday I'll be on Lance's and AJ's shows. And then Wednesdays, We Watch is either going to be Howard the Duck or Speed if the copyright claim expires. It's been 30 days almost.
Nice.
So we'll see.
Good luck.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it.
All right.
I shared something there, Goat.
I see that, but honestly, I am nature is calling loudly. So I am, as it is, going to be kind of clipping this really short. And what am I doing? I have PortCon this weekend coming up. I have my next round of blood work for those of you that have been following my medical stuff, so they can charge me another $2,000. And I'll be back here on Monday, and hopefully I'll have results then for people who are interested. So.
Alrighty.
I am going to skip the outtake song for tonight and wish everyone happy headbutting.
Later, go.
All right. Take care.